on the opposing side, and I believe that student athletes should not be drug tested because they are being tested for drugs that don't have anything to do with enhancing their performance.
Nicole, why do you think that they should be drug tested?
Because they should be able to be tested for all types of drugs that ain't just tobacco and marijuana. They should be drug tested because drugs can kill, and they can cheat if they're steroids.
But they don't test for steroids.
And I think they should.
Okay, I agree with that, but they don't. So why should they test for marijuana if that doesn't improve their performance?
I think that marijuana is not a healthy drug, and for some things it might be, but mostly if it's not used for that, then they should be doing it.
I went on a website called Healthline, and it said that the effects on the body from marijuana, that it doesn't enhance your performance, but it never mind.
Brandon, do you have anything to say?
I don't think we should get tested because people in other states don't get tested. Kids in other states.
Leo?
Well, I think they should be tested, even if it isn't in all other states.
Why? Oh my.
If anything, marijuana, it doesn't improve your performance, it impairs your judgment and slows your reaction time. So usually kids know that, and they won't do drugs before a game.
Even if kids know that, they don't like to listen to what is good for them.
But I don't think they would want to do a drug that would make them slower or impair their judgment.
Sometimes they're depressed and they take the drugs just to feel high.
Do you think students should be allowed to be drug tested out of their extracurricular season or not? Like while they're not in sport, or while they're in?
I think that they should, because if they're in sport and out of sport, it's healthy for students to be drug tested, because of that way you know if they're ever doing drugs throughout the school year.
Brandon, you have anything to say?
No.
Leo?
Well, I think they should be drug tested, even if they're not in a sport, because they can still be doing drugs, even though it doesn't really matter. It's still not something they should be doing in the first place.
What about students who are 18 and can legally purchase tobacco products? Should they be punished for testing positive for tobacco?
I think they should be penalized, even if they can buy it,
Why is that?
because it's not very healthy for a high school student to be doing tobacco at such a young age.
Do you mean like just while they're in sports or any extracurricular?
Any extracurricular.
Do you think it's fair that kids who aren't in extracurriculars don't have to be drug tested? Like any student?
I don't think that's fair. Because if they're trying to catch kids that are doing drugs, they should try to catch all of them, not just kids that do sports.
Do you think it's more important to test students in sports for performance enhancement drugs, or things like marijuana and tobacco?
I feel that they should test them for all types of drugs, because there's cocaine, steroids, heroin, and even medication drugs that kids use just to feel good.
I agree with you that they should test for drugs that enhance their performance, like steroids, but not other drugs. Since it doesn't help them, it shouldn't be.
Well, it doesn't matter if they shouldn't be doing it. They don't like to listen to rules, and they like things
what about students who have been prescribed medical marijuana? Do you think they should receive the same consequences as students who don't have a prescription?
I don't think so, because obviously they need it for medical reasons, so they should be able to not, or have
But
that held
you
against
never
them.
know if they're taking too much or not, no.
Well, usually it's prescribed, they prescribe it, how much you're supposed to, so, yeah.
Yeah, but you still never know if they're taking a little bit more than they should.
Leo? What do you think?
They pretty much covered it.
Brandon?
I don't think they should be tested.
Alright. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, even though our group had many opposing views, everyone had great points. A positive of drug testing is that if they test positive at the school will be able to help them stop smoking or doing drugs. Also, a point was made that students should be tested for marijuana and tobacco, but steroids and other drugs as well. Good points made on the negative side was that marijuana and tobacco have nothing to do with sports. If anything, they make you less coordinated and less healthy. They should be more focused on things such as steroids. Also, in many states, it's illegal to drug test students because it has nothing to do with the school, and what the student does out of high school isn't the school's business. We may only be high schoolers now, but when you have your own kids, this may be something you will worry about. Would you want your kids drug tested?